Okay, greetings to one and all. Those of you who are watching this live on YouTube, this is the quarterfinal for the Lions division. We have team L005, team name Behes Karuna, speaking for the motion, and team L013. Rashi Ben was not the imposter. Okay, not really funny. Speaking against the motion. And the motion for this debate is that fact checking websites should require a license to run. Now, first speaker from the proposition, Nandini Kaushik.
Yes, sir.
I'll just spotlight your video real quick. And yes, you may begin whenever you're ready.
Revealing the truth is like lighting a match. It can either bring light or it can set the world on fire. A very warm morning to my honorable adjudicator, my teammates, and my worthiest opponents. I'm the first speaker from the proposition team, and today the motion for the House is that fact checking websites should require a license to run. Now, before deciding upon anything about this crucial topic, and we need to know what the meaning of a license is. A license is a warrant that is signed to permit somebody to do something. And the reason why we believe, in light of that fact checking website should require a license to run, is that it provides a verification of the person or of the website that is providing you with a certain fact. And we believe that the motion should stand in light of many facts and in light of many arguments that we'll be presenting in our debate. Firstly, the website that is providing you a fact, whether it is crucial, whether it is not, the website which is providing you with a fact or it is providing you with any kind of information can be censored. We see that even around the mass media, it is all about censorship. And that is clearly why we believe that not repeating the same which is happening with the media, in the case of websites, we believe that such websites which are censored would not be given a license, because of which such licensed websites, which are the fact providing websites, would be the only one which would be allowed to run. And that is clearly our team's belief, because of which we believe that the motion should stand. And such fact checking websites which are not sponsored, which are not in a way censored, would be the only ones which would be allowed to have a license and to also show us information on Wikipedia or anything. Now we know that we are those kind of people who are in this world, in this contemporary world, very much dependent on the websites. We would search literally anything on the websites. We can search about our laws. We can search about anything that we want. And if that thing that we are that we are searching about is very crucial to our lives, then it can affect us. For example, if I give an example of a person who searches whether or not we are not wearing a helmet on the main road is a crime or not, and the website which is not verified, I repeat, which is not verified, provides the person with the information that no, not wearing a helmet is not a crime, then that person can get a fine of rupees 10,000 straight away. And that is clearly why we believe that if not exactly this, then many more things and many worse things indeed can happen that can affect us, which, in light of which, we believe that licensed websites should be the only ones which should be allowed to run, because of many crucial reasons. Also, if the opposition comes up with the fact that the websites which are verified can also be censored, like the mass media is, then I would say that in our interpretation, the license should be given to those websites which are not censored at any point of time, and that would actually require us to get true information rather than fake news, which can affect us in many ways and even in endless ways. Also, talking about the inappropriate content that are there on the website, that provide it crucial for us to decide whether or not we want the license of the website or not. For example, there are thousands of government websites, thousands of so-called government websites, which call them government websites, and actually show inappropriate content of things that are just not related to the polity. And that is clearly why we believe that such websites can be shut down, can be said no to run, if such licenses are built on the Wikipedia. Also on the Wikipedia, as well as on Google, which shows all the names of the websites which are verified. Also, it provides fake news. So fake news is a very big topic to talk about. First of all, fake news is something that we have talked about earlier. It is something that the mass media is literally all about in the contemporary world. And leaving that fact, if we talk about the websites, there are even those websites which are the government websites itself who provide us with the fake news, especially before the elections. And providing such websites, not giving them with the license, is something that is required. And that is why we believe that we support the topic, and fact checking websites should require a license to run. Here, believing that such websites which would be licensed would be in a fear of presenting wrong information, false information. I believe that my opponents understand why the fact checking website should require a license to run, and hereby I would like to rest my case, believing that the opponents understood my point. Thank you so much for being interested in the motion.
Thank you, Nandini. First speaker from the opposition, Pahul. You have a minute to prepare your case. Pahul, your minute is up. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
All right, you may begin, please.
A very warm morning to one and all present here, the worthy adjudicator, my fellow teammates, and my worthy opponents. So, today, the motion before the House is that fact checking websites should require a license to run. And me and my teammates strongly oppose the motion and think that this motion will fall. Starting with the motion or opposing it, I would like to clarify the key terms of this motion. Fact checking. Fact checking websites. Though these are some websites who do the process of fact checking. What is fact checking? It is basically the process of verifying information, of verifying facts in order to determine its veracity and correctness. Websites. It's a set of related web pages located under a single domain name, typically produced by a single person or an organization. So basically, the motion states that fact checking websites should require a license to run, and we believe that no, it should not require a license to run. It is just like a school is an institution we go and study. Now the teacher, when she checks our papers, she doesn't require a license to check our facts, the answers. Similarly, the websites, the fact checking websites do not require a license to run. Right. Now we know that it would be very time consuming, first of all, to provide license to the fact checking websites, not the fact providing websites. Media is the biggest fact checker we know. They're already legally permitted to do their work. Even if we talk about various other websites, the one involved in the fact checking, they're already reputable. Moreover, there are many fact checking websites that have been already been shut. Fact checking at the moment is also less scalable and are more labor intensive than some other journalistic projects. Unlike sports and business coverage, fact checking cannot yet reliably be automated. So many journalists are required to verify the overabundance of the suspect claims. Moreover, the fact checkers have not figured out a business model that goes beyond traditional donors or journalist media content. Now, how come my opposition say that the fact checking websites should require a license to run? The verification tools that Storyful offers, for example, we know that seem as useful to Coca-Cola's advertising department as they are to the New York Times breaking the news desk. Fact checkers have yet to offer a service this versatile. Right. Fact checking is a growing sector. So bringing in license at such a young age would not help in their development, would not help in their growth. Also, because bringing in license will add a overburden of them, and that is what I want my proposition team to understand. Not fact checking agencies, but the one providing that information which is fake must have the license so that they could be held accountable for it. Truth is relative. Truth for you can be a lie for me. Mark that, my opposition. Our mind works in a way that we often tend to believe in the things that our mind wants to believe in, right? Even if it is not true, even we know that it's not true, we believe in it because our mind wants it to believe. Also, to judge those fact checking websites, because some may find the things omitted were not really facts, while some would think they mismatched with the facts. And that is why even famous companies like Facebook, Instagram, where they fact check, people oppose them. Sometimes things in theory don't really work in practical. Coming to the rebuttals, speaker one totally misinterpreted the motion. So, first of all, she said that websites providing facts should have license to run. So basically, she related the fact providing websites with fact checking websites. Fact checking websites are not at all the websites who provide with us the facts. They evaluate the facts, they verify the facts. And by all that being said, I would like to rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, Pahul. Second speaker from the proposition, Taru Singh. You have a minute to prepare your case. Your minute is up. Taru, please unmute yourself.
Okay, so may I start?
Yes, please. And it would be nice if you could reposition your camera. I mean,
How? Is this fine?
yeah,
Am I
much
visible?
better. Go on, please.
Okay. A very warm greetings to one and all present here, respected adjudicator, my worthy opponents, and of course my own teammates. I am the second speaker from the proposition side, and the motion present before the House today is that fact-checking websites should require a license to run. And my teammates and I strongly believe that this motion should stand. Before the 2016 elections, these fact checker sites were mainly used to double check what politicians said in major speeches and debates or to analyze urban legends. But with so many supposed news posts spreading across social media and the era of fake news, these sites are quite useful and traffic is much heavier. Now, I fail to understand why my worthy opponents think that these sites should not be licensed. When I say that these sites keep a check on fake news and whatever is said by politicians, they need to be licensed because there are hundreds of sites, I repeat, there are hundreds of sites which do that. But the licensed one are the accurate ones. And that's why people choose the licensed one. Also, there are fake websites which are a constant present, which are constantly present in the social network, and it can lead to confusion for the people which site to choose, and that's why they choose the verified ones. They choose the ones which are already licensed. Also, we are proving something which is already proven, as there are many sites which are already licensed, like the politifact.com, which is a fact checking website and it keeps a check on the promises and campaigns which the government makes. Now, my opposition wants that these license should not be provided to such sites like politifact.com, and there are more various sites like, if I bring on names, then the factchecking.com and a lot other sites which are there like the Snowfy. They keep a check and they need a license. Also, they are being copied. The names, these names, because these are big names now, they have been used by various sites. They've been used, I repeat, they've been used by various sites to get popularity and to make more people visit their sites. So then what will be the difference between the original site? I repeat, what will be the difference between the original site and the fake site? Both will look the same. Both will look the same, and people will end up visiting any of them. They may visit the fake one too, and that means people might be misled. People might believe something that is fake because photoshopping is very easy these days. You can photoshop and make something look real, and that's why what we see sometimes is not real. So I still don't understand, because genuine facts is why these sites get license for. Also, bringing out another point which I would like to put is that every body needs a check on itself. Like our legislature and executive and judiciary has a check, and there's a system of check and balances. Then don't these sites need checks? They need it. And if they prove to be wrong, their license can be snatched, and that will be a worry for them. And that's why they will always present genuine facts, and they will be true to the public. Bringing on another thing, that for major speeches, most major news outlets and annotated and fact-checked version of the transcript is very important. If it has to be fact-checked, the body has to have a trust on that. People will not be able to believe which website to choose. And if people will lose belief, they will stop going on websites, and they will stop checking websites. And if these are not licensed, they can get bribed by the government. The government can bribe these sites that we are bribing you, I'm paying you money, you're not licensed anyways, go support us. And they will go and support them. Here, I prove my point and my team's case that yes, this motion should stand, and yes, these sites should get license, because this is already proven, because these sites already have license. So we are proving something which is already proving, and hence the opposition side's case falls. Thank you.
Thank you, Taru. You exceeded the limit by almost a minute. Please keep in mind, speakers, the maximum speaking time allotted to you is 4 minutes, and anything that you say after the 4-minute mark would not be taken into account. Next speaker from the opposition, Soham Basin. You have a minute to prepare your case.
Sir, can I start now?
Yes, you may. You may, please.
And sir, am I clearly audible and visible?
Okay, you just switched your video off after asking that question.
Okay, sir.
But
Okay,
I can
sir.
see you. Yeah.
Okay. A very fantabulous and optimistic afternoon to one and all present here. Respected adjudicator, my dear audience, and my fellow teammates, and my worthy opposition. So the motion that has to be resolved, first of all, is that the fact-checking website should require a license to run, not which websites are having a license or not. First of all, let me clear this doubt to my opposition. I would like to continue my team's argument and would like to elaborate what my speaker number one actually stated. Let's suppose a hypothetical situation before beginning the real argument. There is a teacher who is giving marks to her students, and she is keeping a check on it. Does she require a license for checking marks of students? Does she require a license for checking the papers? No, ma'am, not at all. Fact-checking websites check the difference between true and false by their perspective, by their right to speech. Then how come you elaborate that these websites are true or false? Media and social media, as my speaker number one said, are the biggest fact checker, and it is their work to check the happenings around the world, and they should not require a special license for that. My opposition, mark my words. That is why even famous social media websites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram checks facts, but they do not, and they should not require a special license for what they are doing, because it is a total waste of time. It is a total waste of everything. It is a total waste. Now I would like to jump towards the rebuttals of the speaker number one. Ma'am, you have totally misinterpreted the motion. Fact checking websites are not related to if they are true, if they are false. The thing may be true for you, may be a lie for me. If, for example, if there is a case that if you will eat banana, you will not get COVID positive, that may be true for someone else, but maybe a lie for me. And that is the personal perspective of the administrator of the fact checking websites. And the work of the fact checking website is to check whether this statement is true or false, but it's the people believe it as a true statement or as a false statement. There was a huge misinterpretation again in your speech. First, you said that fact-checking websites gives you fake news and it is censored and all that stuff. But at last, you said that censored website should not get a license. You have proved by yourself that censored website, according to you, that is fact-checking website, should not get a license. And that is what my team is trying to say. Now, coming towards the rebuttal of speaker number two. My friend, fact-checking websites are just a presentation of our own perspective. I would like to repeat again, it's just a presentation like we do in our papers. This statement is true according to us. This statement is false according to us. And that is what my team is trying to say. The thing may be true for you, may be a lie for us. And that is what we are trying to say. But opposition has totally failed to understand the motion, and they are not listening to what their to what we are trying to say. We are not here to discuss about what sites are licensed or what are not. As the speaker number two of your team gave the example that this site was licensed, this site was verified. We are not should the fact-checking sites be licensed or not. Then how come you relate that topic with this? With all that being said, I would like to rest up my case.
Thank you, Soham. Last speaker from the proposition, Shagun Sinha. You have a minute to prepare your case. Shagun, prep time is over. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
A very good morning to one and all. My name is Shagun Sinha and I'm the third speaker from the proposition team. And me and my teammates strongly believe in the motion before the House, that is, fact-checking websites should require a license. And me and my teammates strongly believe in this motion. Okay, so first of all, enough of arguments are already presented by my first and second speaker, and now I would directly like to come on the rebuttals. So both first and second speaker continuously talked about a hypothetical situation about the teacher checking our exam, and do they require a license? Ma'am, not exactly a license, but there are teachers, okay? They are far more educated than children. They did not do so much study so that one day you question them that, ma'am, you don't need a license, sir. And ma'am, they might have a diploma, they might have a degree. That is why they are in your school checking your paper. They are more educated than you. They are fact checking you because they are educated. They have been verified. They have been given a kind of license from their college that this particular person is eligible to be a teacher. So you now the second speaker the first speaker also talked about that how fact providing websites should be verified. Yes, ma'am, fact providing websites should also be verified. But don't you think that the website that are checking the facts on these websites should also be verified? Shouldn't they also have a license? Shouldn't even be fair that if they will do a wrong check, if they will if they will do any mistake while monitoring the news, the license can be snatched away from them. So I feel that even they should have a license. Even they should be verified and kept the check upon. You talked about both the speakers talked about Instagram and Facebook to be the fact checker. So, ma'am, in which world are you living in? Like yesterday only, I was going through Facebook and the news came across that Shashi Tharoor is the child of Queen Elizabeth. Of course, that is a lie. So, according to who will going to believe this, sir? And if it is a fact-checking website, don't you think that this article shouldn't even be there, sir? And ma'am, these are not at all a fact-checking websites. They are just a group of people here on this website. They are social media websites, and people are here for fun and not to keep a check on what claims government is making. Are they correct or not? Now, I would also like to talk about now coming to the rebuttals of the second speaker. The second speaker and the first speaker of your team continuously talked about it how my first speaker misinterpreted the motion, but whereas your second speaker kept on talking about that it is on us that we believe a news or not. So, sir, then why do we even need a fact-checking website if we can check a news ourselves? If something is lie for me, I will believe it is a lie. For example, if there is a news that bananas don't grow on trees, they just come out of nowhere. So I can believe it is a truth, but is it a truth? Everyone knows they come from trees. They come from trees, and it's very important that there should be a fact-checking website which is licensed, verified, so that they know that this news is wrong and they tell people it is wrong. Because according to me, even if my mind tells me if a fake information is correct according to me, I'll keep on believing it until unless someone will come and tell me that it is wrong or right. Hence you even misinterpreted the motion if you're questioning my first speaker. Okay, so here I would like to rest my case by saying that the opposition's case is completely nullified.
Thank you, Shagun. Last speaker from the opposition, Hazel. You have a minute to prepare your case.
Sir, I would like to start.
Yes, you may, please.
So, a very good afternoon to everyone present here, everyone watching. A very good afternoon. I am the third speaker from my team, and I and my teammates totally oppose the motion that fact-checking websites should require a license to run. Coming straight to the rebuttals of the speaker number one. The speaker number one and the speaker number two both said that websites like Wikipedia give fake information, give fake news and fake facts. First of all, we're talking about fact-checking websites, not fact-giving websites. Wikipedia, however, also needs a license because in the past, it has given wrong information to hundreds and millions of people, but still it is not licensed because it is a fact-giving website, and fact-giving websites are far more important than fact-checking websites. Okay, second point, fact-checking websites are the only websites like, for example, like blogs. There is a topic and there is this topic, like the third speaker said, that bananas grow on trees or just come out of nowhere. So there will be millions and thousands of websites that will fact check it, that will give their opinion on the topic, that will tell if that topic is correct or not according to them. And then we have hundreds and millions of websites to choose from. As the second speaker said, don't you think that a website that is just given to us without any just a license by the government, rather than choosing from hundreds and millions of websites, we could actually understand the majority. We could actually have a more majoritical idea of what the fact is, rather than just one website provided to us with a license by the government. Coming to another point, you said verified websites and sponsored websites, they should be the ones that should be available to us. What if the government, do you know how much corruption is there? What if the government only gives license and sponsors those websites that are in favor of them? The government will, of course, if I was the head of my government, I would sponsor the website that would speak in for me, that would speak in for of the motion, that would praise me, not tell the truth, not tell the actual truth. Just example, let me give you an example of a Zimbabwe. In very back, there was a party called ZANU-PF. It still exists, and it used to stop journalists from going against the party. Okay, they used to stop journalists from going against the party. That is exactly why we need options to choose from, not a licensed website that is licensed by the government, because we never know if that website is correct or not. What if that website just gives us fake information? But from the thousands and millions of websites, we could choose what we want to choose, not what is given us to choose. Another point I would like to give is that the speaker number 2 said that it can lead to confusion of choice and stuff like that. I would like to say again that what will you choose? Choices from, choose from, or just a website given to us, forced for us to believe in it? Would you not rather have thousands of websites to choose from what you want to believe, or would you just have the website that is given by the government? Coming to the rebuttals of the speaker number 3. The speaker number 3 said that speaker number 2 gave example of judiciary, executive, and the other legislative. She said that the executive and the legislature, they need an eye from the judiciary. First of all, ma'am, they are government bodies. Here we're talking about websites, not government actual official bodies. Those fact-checking websites are just people doing blogs and writing what they believe, what their perspective is, to tell people that this might be true. Might be. Do you understand the word might be true? Not actually true. This might be true. They just give a perspective to believe from. That is why we need fact-checking websites not to be licensed by the government. Another point I would like to give is that you said that the speaker number 3 came and they said that Instagram and FB are not fact-checking websites. Ma'am, if you don't know, every single social media website is a fact-checking website only. They fact-check the inappropriate content that is on their websites, and they remove the content reported by the people. They check it, and they don't need a license to it. If an organization, if we are working in an organization and that organization is there and we are using that organization, we have a right to post anything. And if that organization that it is wrong, they will remove it. They don't need a license for them what we want to post on their website, because they decide what they want to have on the website or not. Now at the end, I would like to say that yes, fact-checking websites do not need a license. They don't need a license. Thank you.
Thank you, Hazel. So this marks the end of this round of debates. Those of you who are watching this live on YouTube, I request you all to put down in the comment section which team, whether it was the opposition or whether it was the team speaking again for the motion, which one guesses on who the best speaker for this round is. And speakers, debaters, I request you all to wave goodbye to the people who are watching this live on YouTube. Thank you, and I'll just